We're staying with developments at the Vatican after the election of Pope Leo XIV yesterday. The Pontiff is celebrating his first Mass in the Sistine Chapel. The service started with a prayer led by the Pope to acknowledge sins and ask God for God's forgiveness. The congregation joined him in singing and taking part in the liturgy. Born Robert Prevost in Chicago, he is the first North American to be elected Pope. The Pontiff told cardinals that he hoped his election can help the Catholic Church bring light to the dark nights of this world. World leaders have continued to congratulate Pope Leo after his appointment. President of the United States, Donald Trump, has congratulated the new Pope, describing it as an honor for the country. President Trump said, quote, "I look forward to meeting Pope Leo XIV. It will be a very meaningful moment," end quote. Now, for the president of Israel, the country looks forward to enhancing its relationship between the Holy See and strengthening the friendship between Jews and Christians in the Holy Land and around the world. President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, says he is confident that a constructive dialogue and cooperation established between Russia and the Vatican will continue to develop on the basis of the Christian values. Chancellor of Germany, Friedrich Merz, believes through the Pontiff's role, he provides hope and guidance to millions of believers around the world in these challenging times. The European Union wishes that his pontificate is guided by wisdom and strength as he leads the Catholic community and inspires the world through his commitment to peace and dialogue. For President Bola Tinubu, he rejoices with the leadership and congregants of the Catholic Church in Nigeria on the historic election of the new Pontiff. He said the message of faith and hope already resonates across the globe, with the reassurance from the scriptures of a more peaceful world. All right, let's speak more on this moment. Director of Communications, Catholic Archdiocese of Owerri, Father Ray Nzereogu, joins me on the midday news. Good to have you join us.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome.
So, Father Ray, you and I spoke just at the time that Pope Francis had died. And we also talked about, this moment that we witnessed yesterday. What does this mean for you, the gravity of this moment, and especially the Catholic Church in Nigeria?
It was an amazing moment for everyone. The moment the cardinal came to announce that the conclave has succeeded in electing a pope, the Habemus Papam, we have a pope. That announcement, the atmosphere at the square was just amazing. The atmosphere was electrical. The atmosphere was charged. The enthusiasm, the passion, the excitement was so great and unforgettable for every Catholic. And this moments unites us so much as Catholics, looking forward to having a new pope and eventually having one was very, very exciting. And for us here in Nigeria, there was so much rejoicing, there was so much reaction, there was so much, show of unity and that kind of whatever it is that brings us together as Catholics. It was quite very evident yesterday.
And Father Ray, let me say that the moment was not just electrifying for Catholics. Even those who are not Catholics were looking forward to that white smoke and were quite excited when they saw it. But I also wanted to ask you, because there was this enthusiasm and expectations that seat would come to Africa. But did you feel a sense of disappointment when you learned that it wasn't an African, but an American who has now become Pope?
No disappointment at all. I remember my interview with you, I said, it could be anyone. So everybody, every Catholic knows that you don't campaign to be a pope. There is this saying that those who enter the conclave as popes come out as cardinals. So history tells us that anyone who has been tipped never gets it. So it's normal, nobody, it is not a political position. you know. So there's no disappointment at all. Anyone that came up, anyone the candidate decides or decided to pick as a pope is accepted and welcomed by every Catholic, and we rejoice at their choice.
And what is the expectation for you, quickly, maybe in just 30 seconds or a minute, because Pope Francis was quite and very liberal with his policies. But what are the expectations for you and the Catholic Church in Nigeria?
Every pope comes with his own way of seeing things, and I know he said he is a pastor. So the emphasis of his purpose will be on how he shepherds the church as a pastor, as a true pastor, leading the church. And the new pope spoke about building bridges, dialogue, and looking after the downtrodden. These are the hallmark of every pope. And I know Pope Leo XIV is going to be good at this.
And he also spoke about...
Pope Francis was, and I know Pope Leo will continue the work with Pope Francis.
Absolutely. He also spoke about uniting the church, and that's a tall order, but we'll see how his tenure goes. The Director of Communications, Catholic Archdiocese of Owerri, Father Ray Nzereogu, thank you so much for your time, as always.
Thank you very much for having me on this program.